Welcome back to the Dan Cave, and we got something a little different today. Normally, we're making DSA content, and we're still going to make DSA content. But today, we're looking at another Disney game. That's right, we're looking at Disney's Mirrorverse that's going to be releasing in June. And we were lucky enough to get into the beta, so we're going to be giving our first impressions of the game today. But before we jump into that content, make sure that you're subscribed, you like the video, and you hit that follow button. It really helps the channel out. Leave a comment below. Are you going to be picking up this game? So let's just get into it. Alright guys, we're checking out Mirrorverse, and as you can see, well, the graphics are a little different than DSA. But we're going to be looking at a few different aspects of this game, and keep in mind, I've only played this game for less than 24 hours on the beta. Now I haven't been able to play all the modes just yet, but I do want to give some impressions that I've had so far looking at the game, and just kind of experiencing it for the first 24 hours. So with this being a beta, I'm having to play it on the phone. So if I look down and things like that, that's just because we're looking at the screen, but you guys can see what I'm looking at right here behind me. But let's just take a look at the big screen, right? We've got a character that they're showing off here, which is Sully. Looks really cool, and we're definitely going to dive into some characters in a little bit, but we can see other areas like the Guardians, the store, crystals, alliances, all that good stuff. So you're already seeing that the game is going to have a community with your alliances, as well as, well, ways for the devs to make money in the store. And I mentioned Guardians, but don't worry, we're going to get there because that is actually one of the most stunning things about this game and what really drew me here. Over on the right side, you can see that we have all kind of objectives, things we need to do, whether it's daily, weekly, or just throughout your progression of the game. Just gives you things to keep coming back to the game, and I think it's pretty nice. And if we're looking at the top, yes, you can see there's energy, there's things like that. So this is going to be one of those games that you play on and off throughout the day. Well, unless you start to maybe do that spend and add energy and things like that. I will kind of talk about the spend a little bit, and honestly, it feels pretty free to play friendly. Now, this is the first 24 hours, and we know even with DSA, you can play a lot through the first couple weeks of the game, and eventually you start hitting those walls. And I kind of expect that to happen in this game as well. Now, there are several modes and things like that, so hopefully with all the stuff coming to the game, we won't really run into that too much. So another thing I'm going to look at is just kind of some of these objectives. If I click up here in the top right, you're going to see your daily objectives, your journey objectives, achievements, and all kind of things like that. So again, lots of things to do and the pacing throughout. So just like in DSA where we have our lifetime events and other areas, we're going to get something very similar in here as well. I will also go ahead and say I apologize if I'm comparing everything to DSA, because as you know, with this channel and the Twitch stream, that's really one of the big games we play. So this is what I'm referencing off of. I know there's a lot of other games out there like Marvel Strike Force, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, and several others that are going to be very similar as well. But this really, because it's Disney, it's going to be the best comparison. So let's start with the community. We talked about alliances, so let's go and check that out real quick. We were able to get into an alliance, a pretty active alliance that also has a Discord. So if you're used to the Discord interactions and alliances and things like that, you're going to get the same feel in this game, just like we have in DSA, just like we have in Star Wars and several other games. Not only do we have the alliance itself with the different people, but you also have your missions. If you look at your missions, you have current missions that are weekly and daily type missions. We have some completed ones that were done before we joined the alliance, but these are the missions that you're going to work together to really achieve rewards and things like that throughout by working together. Now, if I go over to play, we're going to see a few of the modes. I know you want to see the characters. We're seeing them pop up the screen here. I promise we're going to get to them. So if I hit play, we're going to bring up the screen and we can see the different things that we have. So we have the chapter select. We're going to go look at that in a minute because there's multiple chapters in this game as well as different difficulties. But over on the right side, we have our dailies, we have a tower, we have events that are going on, and we have dungeons. So a couple different areas that we can do different things in. Right now we have a Hercules storm chase event going on, as well as the Hades terrifying trials that's going to be coming up pretty soon. What I like about this game is there's different difficulties. So again, going back to DSA, you really don't have different difficulties. You're just working your way up, farming your characters, gearing your characters, leveling your characters to be able to do harder nodes, but there's no real way of doing the same nodes at a harder difficulty. And that's one thing I really like about replayability in this game. So if we look at them, you have normal, hard, and expert. Now, it's only day one, so we've been doing normal, and we have hit a couple challenges that are actually pretty hard on the normal difficulty, which is great. So this leads me to believe expert is really going to need some investment on your characters. All right, so now it's time for the story. And this is the one thing that I believe that this game has that we don't see in DSA, that we don't see in some of the other games, but there's an actual story here. So if I enter the story mode, you can see we're in chapter 4. And if I were to hit this chapters, you can see that we've already completed 3 of them, and there's 7 chapters currently. So I imagine as they go live, 7 will be that number that we have, and you can beat those on normal, hard, and expert as you go through. The cool thing about this is this story actually has talking in between levels, between characters and things like that you need to read and learn. Again, you don't have to if you don't want to, but if you're one of those kind of people that really love story when it comes to game, this is going to give that to you. So as you get to a node and we select a node, we're able to find out what we're going to get from beating that node, what we need. So some nodes you may need certain types of characters and things like that. And then you can hit play, and here's some of that text that we're seeing with Belle, Jack Sparrow, kind of going back and forth. So again, if you like the reading, getting into the story, there's a pretty great story around this game. And then you're going to get to the character selection screen. I know, we keep saying about characters. I promise we're about to get there. But this is where you can select your characters, and you can see what your current power levels are compared to the recommended power levels of that particular node. In each of these battles, you're going to get 3 characters that you can add to your team. And once you have them on your team, you're going to be able to kind of determine how you want to do that. So maybe instead of Maui, we're going to change out Maui and put Jack Skeleton over here. And we're going to take Ariel, Jack Skeleton, and Mickey into this battle. So I'm going to go ahead and confirm. We're going to get into the battle. I want to show just a few minutes of gameplay. Again, we'll have additional videos coming out really talking about the different chapters and different things like that, especially with character breakdowns. I just want to show you kind of some of the gameplay. So some of the big difference here between DSA and between this game and even some of the other ones, you have free motion when you're doing your attacks. So right now I'm on auto. So we're just going in auto, we're letting them do that. But as we beat this first level and we go into the second one, I'm going to take it off auto. We're going to do a little bit of play so you can see how it goes. So because we're going into kind of a boss fight. Mickey's trying to help. He's saying, hey, you want one of these things. So we're going to go ahead and get the critical hits, give us knockback. And that's going to be a buff for our team. So we got Oogie coming through. And this is who we're going to have to fight in this particular level. Hopefully we can take him down. But I'm going to go ahead and take this off of auto. And you're going to notice that we have some attacks in the right side. I can do a double swipe, which is going to give me like a little dash to kind of get out of the way of the characters. We've got a couple different moves here. So I'm hitting Mickey's heal as well as Jack's buff and debuffs here. And I'm going to use the special for Ariel. So you can see there's a lot of different moves that you can do. And by really understanding the kits and the strategies around them, you're going to do really well in these battles. So I'm going to go ahead and see if we can't take out Oogie. Come over here and take out the others. And go ahead and win this node. So again, we've won the node. You can see the characters kind of in action. And that's going to be the different gameplay. So it's not the old school Final Fantasy, stay in your spot, pick your move, go. Turn-based strategy. You're actually interacting. You need some strategy around dodging and moving as it relates to, attacking in these game modes. So we'll grab our rewards. You saw that our characters leveled up. There's all kind of aspects within this game that we may not see in some of the other games that we're playing today. Okay, so we'll get through this, and you can see we've unlocked the next node. So each of these chapters has 10 nodes that you need to go through, and once you beat that, you can move on to the next chapter. And each chapter really has a underlying villain that you're working towards to take down. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about before we get to the characters, I just want to talk about the store a little bit and how you're going to get these characters. So if I go to the store mode right now, you can see that we're going to have our different offers and different things like that. The featured is going to show us the shards, and these crystals in these shards are going to be the way that we unlock characters. So we have a couple that we've actually gotten through the game, winning as we've defeated different levels. So let's go ahead. Let's go into the Stellar Crystal. We have a crystal already, so let's go ahead and open it. And this is where we can use our crystal. We're going to throw it right there into the portal, the Mirrorverse, and open it up and see what we get. So we got Sully, and in this case, we already had Sully, so it's giving us extra stars, and that goes into our Sully. And our characters have anywhere from 1 to 5 stars based on the rarity that you're getting. And you may be able to open up a 5-star, a 4-star, or something like that, or you're going to need to open up multiples in order to fill those stars with your characters. Now, there's a lot of different shards. You can see some of them from 2-star to 5-star. As we scroll over, we got some 1 to 3 stars. There's some that are guaranteed 4 stars. Really just all the different ones throughout there. And there's different offers, different packs, as well as the things you're going to get from rewards for defeating different pieces of the campaign and different areas in the game. So we'll get more into that, more into the crystals, where you can get some stuff, maybe what are some of the good deals. We'll talk more about that in a later video. This one, we're just kind of looking at the game as a whole and giving our feedback, our thoughts around what we think on the first 24 hours of playing Mirrorverse. So now's the time. We're going to look at the Guardians. And again, I'm going to do some character breakdowns, maybe some tiered list, things like that as we go. But let's go ahead and look at some of the art as we go through. So as I mentioned, the art is what really drew me to the game. So let's click into a few of these characters. Again, there's a lot here. If I scroll, you can see a handful that we've unlocked, as well as if I get down here, the ones that I haven't unlocked. So I'm going to show a few of these off, but I want to make sure, leave a comment below of which character you want me to do a video on, maybe a deeper dive on. Maybe tell you how to use them, maybe tell you about the costume. I don't know, whatever it is, leave a comment below and we'll do a follow-up video specifically around that character or maybe a couple characters. So let's start with Mickey, because from what I've heard, Mickey is essentially one of the best characters in the game. He's really good. He's a healer, he's support. And that's one of the big things about this game is each character really does play a function. In this game, well, they're going to act a little bit different. Whether it's the AI playing them as one of your other characters on the battlefield, yes, you can click on their image and control them as well during the battle, but you want to make sure that the characters that you have on your team of 3 really have some synergy between them, whether it's one support, one tank, and one offensive character, but you want to make sure that they're really going to work well together on the field. So Mickey's one of those really great supports, and if we look at how the characters are set up, we've got a level over here on the right side, we've got the rank, the attributes, all that good stuff. We've got abilities. So if we click into abilities, you can see his abilities. So these are the 3 abilities he's going to use if you're controlling them. And then he also has the 1, which is the Cosmic Command, which is the ability you're going to get to trigger even if you're on one of the other characters. We've got talents. So you can see Mickey has a lot of talents here. And as you level them up, some of these are going to unlock throughout the progress of Mickey. You have milestones. So I love milestones. Milestones are one of those things that normally, again, you have them in games of how you're doing, but I love how they actually put milestones on every character. So each character you play, the more you play, you're going to unlock milestones, and whether it's cosmetic stuff for your profile or it's buffs that the character is going to get, it's really, really nice. So you can see as we scroll down, we have all kind of milestones all the way up to a level 100. So this is one of those games that may take a while to get your characters leveled up for all those hard and expert modes. So they've really built a lot into the game. The last thing I want to show you is down here at the bottom, we have our different talents that we were talking about unlocking. So this is where you can really customize your character based on their level. You can equip the different abilities. So this is really going to make your Mickey or your Maui or your Ariel attack differently, work differently based on which of these skills you're actually equipping onto your character. So it's pretty easy to go through there and understand what's going on, but it also adds a very complex system to where your character really can feel like your character. And as you build your team, you can make them work the way you want them to work. So I'm going to flip through a couple of these characters real quick because there's a few that really caught my eye on their design. So the second one we want to look at outside of Mickey is Oogie. You kind of saw him inside of that match, but this is Oogie. Like really, guys. They really took all the details of Nightmare Before Christmas and gave it to Oogie. His shield, well, it's the roulette spinning wheel. But the flail. Let's do a little zoom, guys. The flail. Those are dice. Those are dice. What a great little piece that they added in here. They really made Oogie feel like they looked at all the details from the movie. They brought him in. He's super battle ready. He looks so good. He's got the spider bolo on, just all kind of great stuff. And this is the detail that I saw in each of these characters that just really blew me away. I know another one here is Aladdin, right? So Aladdin's a big character in DSA, one of the first ones you get that you can use. Yes, we have the Prince Ali outfit, but what if Aladdin got his dad's outfit, right? So not in the first Aladdin movie, but the other Aladdin movies. He's got his dad's outfit looking kind of like the Prince of Persia, but a lot of detail put into these characters, and he looks awesome. When he's in battle, he actually pulls the little piece above his mouth to really make him have that ninja-esque vibe, and it just really works with how his kit works. He wants to be stealthy, he wants to be behind the character to do more damage. So these are the little details that I think this game just got right. So lastly, and this is for you, Patrick, we're going to look at Baloo. And just like all these other characters, they did Baloo some justice. We've got the tailspin Baloo. He's got that prop plane propeller that he's using, a little bit broken off there, but using it as a big sword. Got the shield, which is the airplane wheel. Man, these are the things that just the little details that make this game just shine and look so good when you're in there. So I can't wait to really review all these characters. And like I said, there's a lot of characters in this game. So let me know what you guys want to see, and I'll do a little bit longer video with the different characters. Also, make sure to just hang out with us on Twitch. The other day we went through all these characters. We had Mrs. Dan on as well, just going through them, checking them out, giving her feedback. And we're gonna be doing that a lot, I'm sure, throughout this game, because honestly, the details on these characters are just so awesome. But let me know again down below which ones you want to see in a future video. We will definitely check them out, and can't wait to see what characters they're going to be adding. So all in all, I really love the way this game looks, the way it feels in the game modes, and can't wait to continue playing it and to get more out of it. So we're going to be doing more videos in the future, so make sure to check back in, see the different breakdowns of characters, strategies, all kind of great stuff as we make our way through the Mirrorverse. And lastly, I'm still going to make some DSA content. I know it takes a while to make these videos, but I will have some more coming out pretty soon with additional raid teams. So if you like that game, don't worry, we're still hanging out in DSA, we're still playing that. But Mirrorverse, this is going to be a new game that we're playing as well. So what did you guys think about Mirrorverse? Is this a game that you may be picking up in June when it releases? Leave a comment down below of your favorite part that you saw in the video. And if you like what you saw and you want to see it live and hang out with us over in the Dan Cave, make sure to check us out over on Twitch, twitch.tv/defaultdan.